Boom! Here I am. I'm Derek Hartley, and I am live. Now, if you are not watching this live, you can tune in Sundays at 4 p.m. I have this weird modulated way of explaining it, don't I? Okay, here's how it works. Sundays, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific, Derek and Romaine live. You can join us on Google Plus in Google Hangouts or on YouTube. And you'll see the live stream countdown on the YouTube video that's there. For more information, check out the trailer that we have there that sort of explains how the Google Hangouts things work. But if you're here in the chat, you'll see something that looks like a keypad at the top of the screen. If you're watching through the Google Plus, you'll see a keypad right up here, boom, and you click on that, and that will allow you to ask a question or vote up the questions of other people who have joined in the chat. See how easy it is? If you're not watching it live, you can still watch it on the Google Hangouts and then thumbs up or thumbs down your favorite parts of the conversation, and then everyone will know what you liked and what you didn't like. So there you have it. Now all I need is for the lovely and talented Romaine Patterson to join me, and all of you to flood into our room after you have watched a brief message from our sponsor, which I know will happen any second now. There will be literally billions of people. By billions, I mean tens of people who will be joining us. I look forward to that. Well, we have our first live visitors who are watching us now. And Romaine has still not joined us yet, even though I sent her an invite. And I know she retweeted it. Here she is. Boom.
Hey, sorry I'm late.
Yay. Well, I'm glad you're here.
I tried to sit up outside, and then it was too dark.
How is it dark outside? It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Because under my porch, you couldn't see my face, and then I had to quickly move locations. Just didn't work. Okay.
Well, I'm glad you're here now. And we have a few people who are here with us too. I just saw Romaine yesterday. We were in New Jersey for 4th of July, and that was a lot of fun. We were at Kevin and Christopher's house on the lake. And
what? Sorry.
I won't say a thing, ma'am.
Dumb dogs barking. Ah.
Did you have fun yesterday?
I did. Although I feel kind of bad because I watched the Periscope video that you did, and I'm like, oh my God, I totally bailed on him. I'm such an asshat, so I'm sorry about that.
What do you mean you bailed on me? Oh, while I was doing the video?
Yes, because I was so drunk. Oh my God, I was so drunk. I was a mess.
God, was she so drunk?
Oh, I was. I kept having those frozen cocktails, and they had me on my ass. So I'm sorry if I was brief on the Periscope. I was just a mess.
We already have some comments from people, and use the Q&A feature right up here where you see the keypad to ask your questions yourself. The first one is from John. John says, best food you had yesterday for 4th of July?
Oh, I would have to say there were these like brownie meets a Reese's peanut butter cup brownie things over there yesterday that were superb. They were amazing. They were my favorite thing.
Every year somebody makes the chocolate chip cookies with M&Ms in it. And is that you? You bring them, Romaine?
I make them. Yes, they're my cookies.
Okay, well, I guess it will be a surprise to no one that I ate Romaine's cookies. All right. Again, I'm getting an incoming call, Google Hangouts call from Kevin, who is trying to join us for this live chat because he doesn't understand how it works. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to have to make a second Google Hangouts video to explain how to join in.
Derek, it's hard for some people.
I know, because there's like a start button on the screen, and then they don't.
I know.
Okay. All right, well, let's go back to the questions from our listeners that they have sent in. Heidi from Arizona. We love Heidi.
We do.
Heidi's question is, hey, Derek and Ro, I have jury duty this week. Do you guys have any jury duty stories?
I've never been called for jury duty my whole fucking life. And by the way, I'm kind of disappointed by it because I think I'd make an awesome juror. So I'm sad that I have not been called to be on jury duty.
I would want to be on a jury, which I have never been on. I have been called for jury duty. When I lived in New York City, I got called in. Actually, we were doing the show when I got called in for jury duty. It was like 10 years ago.
I remember.
And I went down there and I waited for a couple of days and I never got called. And then that was it. I fulfilled my duty. I haven't been called again. And I'm a registered voter. I'm in all the places where somebody would be scooped up to be on a jury. And, I would love it. I totally want to be a jury foreman, right? But
of course you do. That is so not surprising about you.
Oh, like you wouldn't want to be a jury foreman?
I mean, maybe. Okay, yes, I would.
Okay. JD has a question. JD says, my God, the hair is even shorter than the other day. It isn't. I just got the haircut once, and now here's how short it is. Although yesterday when we did the Periscope, oh man, the light hit it just right. I look gray as a ghost.
Oh my God, yeah, you look so old. Even Iris is like, dude, has the stress turned Derek old? I'm like, no, it's just the way the light is hitting his hair.
Yeah, oh my God. Because look, I haven't dyed my hair or anything since yesterday, and I look like I did. Because the top of my head looks like dark. But yeah,
Right.
The way the light was hitting it, oh man, it was all light.
Yeah.
Anyway, there you go. My hair has not changed since I got a cut last week at all. I haven't done anything with it. This is it. This is my hair. Okay. Next question. This one is from John. What is your favorite Broadway show?
My favorite Broadway show. That's kind of hard. I mean, I think it's Sunset Boulevard just because I think it's a great musical. But I'm also very partial to Phantom of the Opera. I kind of like older stuff. But I love Rent, too. I do love Rent.
Okay, I'm getting another incoming call from somebody who wants to join the Google Hangouts, who again can't figure it out. This is from Chuck. Sorry, Chuck, when you watch this later, the way you join the Google Hangout is you click on the link that we put for the Google Hangout. That's it.
And that link is everywhere. Oh my God, it's everywhere.
I know. I don't know why people can't find it. I really don't.
I don't either.
Anyway, here we are. On the favorite Broadway show, my favorite Broadway show that I actually saw on Broadway was Book of Mormon. That was an experience. It was definitely quite a thing. And so I enjoyed that very, very much. Chuck just sent a text message that says, how do I join the chat thing? I mean, it's a little late now, Chuck. I can't. How am I supposed to message you now? We're in the middle of our chat.
Quiet
Okay.
dogs.
Book of Mormon, though, was great. That was a great show. I'm glad I got to see that on Broadway with the original cast. I also really enjoyed Harvey Fierstein came back into Hairspray near the end of its run, and I got to see Harvey in Hairspray, and I have to say that was worth it because it really was worthwhile. Okay, I got a text from Kevin, and he says, sorry, I'm in the video now. Love ya. All right, so Kevin figured it out. Kevin, can you let Chuck know? And then
That's kind of sad.
yeah. But the Broadway soundtrack that I listen to the most is Gypsy. All the time. Because I'm a homosexual.
No. Really? I never would have guessed that. Nope. Mm-mm.
Ivan has a good question. Ivan says, why is the Derek and Romaine Twitter tweeting in directions to join you on YouTube in Spanish?
Yeah, why is it doing that, Derek?
I don't know. I set our thing as English. I have no idea why it's telling everyone on Twitter in Espanol. But buenos dias to everyone who has joined us today. Romaine, you're partially Spanish. Why don't you say something in Espanol?
No habla español.
Here's Michael's question. We'll work on the setting. You know, Romaine and I are not technical. I'm a slightly more technical person than Romaine, which is not saying much at all, because Romaine is basically Amish, so I'm not much of that.
Amish? What is that, Amish? Really? I'm not quite that bad. I mean, come on. Give me a little credit. I'm like the Amish kid who's on vacation from being Amish.
Okay. You mean the Rumspringer?
Yeah, sure, whatever you want to call it.
Okay, well, sure.
You know,
Anyway,
the teenagers get to go on like a 3-month vacation to see if they really want to stay Amish or not before they get all Amish.
that's what it is.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. I'm like the Amish kid who didn't know shit, and then I got to go live in the real world, and I kind of got to learn a little bit, but not enough. That's me.
Anyway, I will work on it because I'm the one who has to send all these tweets out and everything. So I'll see what's happening. I feel like last time it was in Hungarian. I don't know. Here's our next question. This one's from Brian. Remember, you can use the Q&A feature. Press the keypad button up here. You can vote up other people's questions if you're watching us live, or you can ask your own question. Brian's question is, any exciting new DNR future developments to vaguely hint at while conveying no real information? Oh, have I got stuff for you, Brian.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Okay, well, I will tell you this, that one, I'm a little bit tan because I have been outside in the sun. I was in a local parade yesterday in my town for the 4th of July parade. I was in the parade. And then I was out and about today in the sun, and I don't have anything to announce yet, but I personally, not related to Derek and Romaine, I personally will have what I think will be an exciting development for people who have enjoyed the show over the years about me personally that will not impact them, but I think they'll be very excited about in a narcissistic way. I think he'll be excited for me. Romaine is excited about it, but I won't be able to say anything for like another week. So there is
Sorry,
news on that front. What?
Sorry, bitches, you don't get to know yet.
Yeah, but you know what? You can draw your own conclusions based on what I've just told you. And then the second thing is that for the two of us working together, as we've said before, Romaine and I are exploring all options about continuing the show in whatever manner that we can. And there are at least people out there who have said that they want to help us. So we are definitely exploring all available options. But at least it's not like we're in this cone of no one cares and no one is offering to help and nothing is happening. You know, so Romaine and I both feel gratified by two things. One, that so many listeners have written to us and said how much the show means to them and how they really would like to see the show continue in some kind of way. It's why we're doing these videos every week. And then also so many people that we have met professionally and personally over the years have volunteered to help in a variety of ways, some more helpful than others, but people have certainly reached out to us to support us. And I have to say, I mean, Romaine will probably disagree with me on this. I have been pleasantly surprised by how many people have reached out in such a nice way. Romaine, of course, always thinks she's the queen of the universe, so she's not surprised when people reach out like that, but it's been very heartening, right, Romaine?
No one cares about us. No one ever reaches out to us. I'm kidding. No, it has been great to see how nice everyone has been. See, I'm the queen. Yeah, it's been nice. It's been great. This week was a little slow in terms of forward movement, but primarily because everyone was on fucking vacation this week. Like, everybody was on vacation this week. So it's kind of hard to get, like, some forward motion happening when, you know, no one's around.
I like your forward motion.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's go to the next question. This one's from Bizzle, who's in your hizzle, Romaine. Bizzle says, please discuss the new Katherine Heigl wedding movie. Would love to hear your thoughts. I know Romaine is excited.
Romaine is excited. Now, here's why. Let me just be clear about this. I have loved Katherine Heigl since the Roswell days. Now, most of you probably don't remember that shitty little TV show that was on, like, the CW or some shit like that. But I was obsessed with it, and I started having a crush on her way back then. And then, of course, she went to Grey's Anatomy. My crush continued. Then she started doing all those horrible rom-com movies that just were failure after failure after failure. That made me sad. But now she's in a movie where she's playing a lesbian, which, by the way, is this little lesbian's fantasy come to life. And I only wish she would marry me instead of that whoever girl that she's marrying in this movie, because I'm in love with her, and she should want to marry me instead. And why can't she be a lesbian in real life? Why?
Oh,
Why?
okay. Well, anyway, I don't know why she can't be a lesbian in real life. This independent movie is called Jenny's Wedding, right?
Yeah, have you seen the trailer for it?
I watched the trailer for it, yeah.
She doesn't make a very convincing lesbian, I will say that.
No, she really does not.
But who cares? The idea of her being a lesbian is enough for me. But man, there are a lot of people who do not like the Katherine Heigl. I don't understand that, especially from the gay people, because she's very gay supportive. So we should be supportive in return.
There's something about her that bugs. I don't know what it is. Sorry.
I don't either, because she's fucking hot. And
Okay.
I think we would love her.
Let's move on to our next question. This one is from Noam, who's in Arizona. Hi from Arizona. Derek, how are you spending your days the past few weeks? Are you lonely being at home all day when you don't go into the city? I have never been so busy in my life as I have been for the last 2.5 weeks. And mostly it's because of all of the contact through social media, but also like my friends have reached out, and nearly every friend I have everywhere in the world is like, oh great, well now that you don't have a job, come and visit. And I would love to, but I gotta focus on what's going on here. Plus, Romaine and I have been busy fairly constantly. Lots of people are interested in joining us on the Derek and Romaine cruise because they're worried that this one in the fall will be the last one possible. Also, I think that our show getting canceled has unearthed feelings about our show that people didn't realize that they had. And that has motivated them to want to join us on the cruise. Just last night, Romaine and I got a message from somebody who lives in northern New Jersey. Sorry, I got a niche. And he's like, I'm so sad that your show got canceled. Why don't you guys come over and I'll take you to dinner?
Aww,
it's very sweet. And that's how people feel about us and feel about the show. And it's very sweet, but it also means that when I say that thousands of people have reached out to me personally in the last 2.5 weeks, I mean thousands. So I have not exactly been lonely or idle, for sure, in the last couple of weeks. How about you, Romaine?
No, I haven't been lonely, primarily because Romy's here all the time now because school is out for the summer. So I've spent a lot of time with her. And I've been getting to spend a lot more time with Iris. I mean, you know, for the most part, for, oh God, what seems like forever, we work totally different shifts, so we never got to see each other except for on the weekends. So it's kind of nice getting to spend time with my family for a change. Although Derek and I were discussing it yesterday when we were out at the island, the hardest part about not being on the air every night is the day part where we are usually on the air feels so weird for us to not be on the air. I'm like, oh my God, it's 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock, and I feel like I should be doing something right now. What? I don't know what to do with myself. But, you know, I'm getting used to it. I mean, it's kind of nice to be able to, you know, sit at home and cook dinner and do pretty normal stuff for a time.
Yeah. It was funny. Romaine and I were in, for 4th of July, we were in New Jersey. Our friends Kevin and Christopher have a place on the lake there. And so we were hanging out there. And, you know, both of them are Broadway veterans. And many of their friends are Broadway people. And so, you know, and Romaine and I have been coming out there for years. And I don't know if this happened to you, Romaine, but oh my God, I got introduced to new people in the most awkward way possible. Everyone's like, oh, this is Derek. He, you know, the show just got canceled 2 weeks ago.
It totally happened to me too. Or I'd be like, they'd be like, well, how do you know Kevin and Christopher? I'm like, well, I used to have it was very awkward.
Yes. But the other thing is that because there were so many people there who were Broadway performers, you know, a long run for a Broadway show is 3 years. Our show was on the air for 12. And so for a lot of the actors there, and most actors only stay with a show, they usually have like a 1-year contract for a show, and then they do a show for a year. So for a lot of actors, 12 years is 12 different shows. It's a lot of shows. Some do fewer than that, but you know, you could do as many as 12 shows in 12 years. And so, you know, a lot of them were sympathetic that we didn't have a job, but almost all of them had faced near constant unemployment during the time that we were on the air. So, I mean, they were sympathetic, but they weren't sympathetic because it's like, you know what? We've all been unemployed here. You know, this happens. It's part of being in the entertainment business. And so, you know, that was fine. It was nice, but everyone was really nice about it. But it was hilarious when they were so awkward trying to introduce us. But I also wasn't lonely because Mike was here. He went home on Wednesday of last week, I think. But normally Mike comes home from work and I'm off doing the show and he's able to like do his thing. It's why we've been roommates for so long because I really only ever saw him on the weekends. I wake up, he's already at work. You know, I go to work, he comes home, there's nobody here, he has a place to himself, he goes to bed, I come home after he goes to bed. So like I really wouldn't see him during the week. But now that I have been on the show, literally every day, the door opens and I'm there like some puppy that's been trapped in an apartment all day. Oh, you're here, what's happening? What are we eating? What's going on? What are we gonna do? And I think he was sick of the sight of me by the time he went home. Pretty sure.
I don't blame him. I got sick of the sight of you after 12 years too.
That's not true. Yesterday you told me that you miss seeing my face.
Nah, that is kind of true. After a few days, I have started missing your face a little bit.
See, it happens. Okay, what else we got in terms of questions? Gail's question. Derek, whatever happened to that guy you thought had a boyfriend and you found out he didn't, and I told her on the radio show to follow up and Twitter him. Gail, I have not followed up with him for a couple of reasons.
Of course not.
Yeah, well, you know, for a couple of reasons. One is I don't have a job. So then it's gonna be like, hey, I'm unemployed. Let's hang out. Because that's a great opener.
Super sexy thing, Derek, to be unemployed. Very sexy.
No, it's really not. And then the second thing is that he's not somebody that I used to run into with any frequency. He is a friend of a not close friend. So the odds of me running into him are pretty slim. And I mean, I suppose I could track him down on Twitter or something, but that seems super creepy. Hi, I know I've run into you many times over the last 8 years, but I just discovered you're not the person I thought you were. Let's go out. There's not an easy opening there. I don't know anything about his opening, but he doesn't seem all that easy to me. Steven has a question. Do either of you keep in touch with Hedda Lettuce? I have not talked to Hedda.
I try to stay in touch with Hedda. She's out at the Fire Island right now. So during the summer, it's always a little bit challenging to keep in touch with her, but I really love Hedda, and she and I have developed a pretty good friendship over the years, so I will be keeping in touch with her, absolutely.
All right. I'd love to keep in touch with Hedda, but I haven't talked to Hedda since all this happened. Brian says, Derek, any interesting stories from the movies this weekend? In the past, you spoke about inept middle-aged women who could not use the ticket machine and rowdy teenagers who called you sir. Well, I went to see 2 movies this week. I went to see Magic Mike with Johnny Lazy and Baby Mikey, but we went to the Lincoln Center Theater in New York City. And that actually was great. We had a good time. The crowd that was there seemed to like it. We went to like a 4:30 Wednesday show, or Thursday, I don't even remember what day it was. And so it was not like super busy or anything. But I enjoyed that very much. And then I went to see Terminator Genesis.
Ooh, how was that? I want to go see that.
On Friday. It's not a good movie, but
really?
It's not terrible. Here's the problem. People hold the first 2 Terminator movies in very high esteem. And I totally understand why, because they are very entertaining movies and I like them very much. And all of the subsequent movies have just been fairly run-of-the-mill action movies. And I would certainly put this in that category. I think that they tried to be inventive. They tried to do something new and rebooty with it. But, I mean, it wasn't great, but it didn't suck. But the action sequences were surprisingly lackluster. That was the one thing about the movie that I was surprised by, is that it just, you know, the action, the thing about the Terminator movies that I like is that, you know, the Terminator is programmed to kill, not to not hit something. So the Terminator is always plowing through whatever's between them and the person they're trying to kill. And the sort of relentless violence of the Terminator movies is what I've always really liked. That like as they're driving down the street, they'll just hit every single car. There's no like, oh, I gotta brake or swerve, nothing. It's just like, I'm crashing through this wall, I'm crashing through this car, I'm crashing through this person, it doesn't matter. And so I like that about the Terminator movies, and the other filmmakers have not had that same sort of relentless spirit about the violence. But this past movie was fine. I thought it was fine. I didn't feel like I wasted my money going to see it, and it was not terrible. It was fine. People have very high expectations.
I guess I'll have to go see it this week and judge for myself.
Okay.
I don't know. We'll see. I want to see it. There are a couple movies actually right now that I want to go see, so I got to get on it. I've just been very busy, trying to find a job and shit.
Yes, that's kind of important.
Yeah.
Scott says, I love keeping up with you. I follow you everywhere, and I get the minuscule periscopes from Donnie, but how do I follow Katie? Actually, there's no way to follow Katie. She's not in social media. She's even more Amish than Derek and Romaine.
Yeah. I mean, I want to get her on this Google Hangout one of these weekends. We will. We'll try.
Yeah, but like Romaine said that, it's like, oh, people want Katie on the Google Hangouts. I was like, does her laptop even have a webcam? Like, I don't even know.
I don't either. So we're going to have to find out.
She doesn't tweet. I mean, she's on Facebook a little, but there isn't really a way to follow her. She doesn't have like a public page or anything on Facebook, but yeah. She really is not engaged in social media.
Yeah, sorry. She ain't got time for that shit.
No, she really doesn't. All right, Zach has a comment. Zach says, I guess there will need to be some crimes committed, so Derek and Romaine could be a juror for one or several of us. Hashtag fulfilling Romaine's dream.
Don't commit crimes just so my dreams are fulfilled. That is not a good idea.
Yeah,
I don't want any of you to go to jail because I would have to find you guilty.
Yeah, please don't commit a crime so that we end up on a jury. Yeah, I'm with Romaine on that one. Deborah's question is, do you like Periscope or Google Hangouts better?
I like them both pretty equally. I mean, here on Google Hangouts, I can put funny mustaches on and goggles and weird shit. That's kind of fun. But I also like the Periscope thing, too. So I kind of like them both.
I like them both. What I like about Periscope is it's very user-friendly. People are having a hard time figuring out how to get this Google Hangouts thing to work. I mean, at least it's easy because like we don't have to do anything to get these onto YouTube later. So at least if people can't figure it out and they miss how to get into it, at least they can just watch it on YouTube later and it's fine. But I like the Periscope thing, but the Periscope is a little bit different because Periscope is a mix of the people who already know us, but then also random people from around the world who tune in and check it out. With the Google Hangouts, we're really only reaching people who already like us and liked our show. But we are getting about the same number of people to join us during a Hangout Live as we did to join us in Periscope Live. So numbers-wise, they're fairly similar, but we're reaching slightly different audiences. But I like Periscope because like when the deer were in my yard, it's really easy to like pick up my iPad or my phone and quickly video them. Although those of you who missed the video of me with the deer in my yard, my Periscope crashed after I filmed them, and it didn't save the video, which it really bums me out. I know.
I hate that.
I tried to put it on YouTube, and then I couldn't find it. And it's because the Periscope crashed, and then the video didn't save. And those deer, everyone in the neighborhood has been talking about them. They are tiny. They're literally like this tall. They couldn't be more than a couple of weeks old. They're so tiny and so cute with little Bambi spots on them. I mean, they were walking past my Adirondack chairs, you know, the chairs that are low to the ground, and they were not taller than the armrest of the Adirondack chair. They were so tiny. They were maybe a foot and a half tall high with their heads. So cute. So I'm sorry that video didn't make it.
Yeah, that sucks. I hate when Periscope loses a video. It pisses me off. It really pisses me off. Because I'm like, I want that video, damn it!
All right, Zeke says, who threw up on Romaine's wall?
I will have you know that is not puke on my wall. That is a $25,000 painting by some famous fucking artist that I stole from my brother Saban. And I'll probably have to sell it soon so that I can buy food. I won't, but I want to sometimes sell it for food. I don't need food. I'm going to get skinny.
Okay, good. Chuck says, when are you having Head of Lettuce on? Look, Chuck made it in. He figured it out.
Holy shit! Hi, Chuck.
Hi, Chuck. Look, we actually haven't talked to Head about this because, again, Head is out on Fire Island for the summer. And so I don't know if we'll be able to get Hedda to join us because I don't know what Hedda's technical situation is there. Hedda literally was calling us from a payphone by the dumpster out back when doing our show. So I don't know. But we'll try. If we can get Hedda, we'll try.
You paint such a pretty picture, Derek, like the one behind me.
It's a very pretty picture.
Right.
Jay has a question. Do you have plans to get a better platform? Both Periscope and Google Hangouts are very unreliable and don't scale well. P.S. Don't blame the listeners for not getting it. Google Hangouts is a freaking nightmare to work with, and I work in computers. Jay, I have to agree with you. I know it's not. Google Hangouts launched 3 years ago and immediately was like a dud of a failure. And they have not even updated their own splash page since 2012. So that ought to tell you something. They're not even updating their own thing. What I like about the Google Hangouts is that on a certain level, it is easy because it ties to YouTube and we can take questions and it's sort of interactive. You don't have to download an app in order to join us the way that you do with Periscope. You can schedule a time so people know when to find us. So there's a lot about Google Hangouts that I like, but yeah, it's not a long-term solution for Derek and Romaine as a show. But for us, we really just wanted to have an opportunity so that we could check in with everyone once a week because people are missing the show and they want to know what we're up to. So this is as good as anything. And fortunately, thousands of people are watching the videos afterward. So at least they can catch up even if they didn't get to ask their question live.
Right. And it's nice to be able to touch base. I mean, I think that's the most important part about this. It doesn't really matter what platform it's on as long as people at least get to hear and see from us. That's all we really care about.
True. Rob says, Romaine, can you give us a hint of what you're planning for the cruise? Oh, good question.
Okay, yes, I can tell you. Okay, so we're still waiting. Oh, so frustrating. We're still waiting for the cruise line to give us final approval on the itinerary, but I will tell you this much. We will probably do another light up the night party, only this time, instead of wearing white, if I'm not mistaken, this particular ship, they do like a neon party. So it's like a white party, but you wear neon clothing, and we're going to up the ante a little bit by doing the light up the night portion to it as well. That was such a huge hit on our last one that we wanted to kind of replicate that for the new one. The other theme night that I can tell you about is we are planning on doing like an 80s theme night because the whole ship is kind of built around the Broadway musical Rock of Ages. So we are totally going to do like an 80s rock night theme, which will be super fun. And I cannot wait to see how far the bitches go because we always have the best costumes, we always have the best theme stuff, and the other bitches on the cruise are going to be crying because they're boring compared to us.
Oh.
And that gets me excited.
Let me tell you something. Bitches are going to be crying because I'm going to be wearing 80s clothes from the 80s that I have saved.
Of course you are.
Legit. I will be wearing things that I bought when I was a teenager. So I got to make sure I lose some weight. So,
yeah.
Okay. We're all nervous about that, aren't we? JD has a question for you, Romaine.
Okay.
Romaine, I'm moving to Denver in February. Good idea? I hope so.
Okay, well, it's a great idea to move to Denver because Denver is an amazing city filled with lots of things to do. Evidently, it has a very hearty job market right now. So Denver's got a lot of things going for it as a city. They're adding this amazing light rail that goes out to the airport and then also shoots up the mountain, which is going to make life so much more fun and exciting there. But in February, Denver can be a little bit cold, so pack a warm coat, plenty of sweaters, and some warm socks because, you know, in February, it's still very much the middle of winter out in Colorado.
All right. Davey Garcia.
Oh, wait, hold on. Can I add one more thing?
Yes.
JD, if you're looking for a house out in Colorado, email me, RomainePatterson@gmail, and I'll hook you up with my brother John, who can help you find a house. He's awesome.
All right.
Okay, that's it. I'm done.
Davey Garcia has a question that Romaine and I are unable to answer.
Okay.
It is a personal business question we're not allowed to answer at this time. However, Davey Garcia filled out the form to join us on the Derek and Romaine cruise, and your email address bounced back. I was going to call you today, which is why you haven't heard from us. So anyway, try emailing us again with your correct email address so that we can get you on the Derek and Romaine cruise. So I have to say.
Okay.
Okay. Joseph says, you look 20 years younger. A drag queen once told me, find good light and stand in it. I don't know which one of us is 20 years younger, but...
It's me, of course! I look like a young, beautiful, little twink of a girl.
Oh, God.
No, I'm kidding. It's probably you.
It could be either one of us, and thank you. Lighting is important. Rebecca says, are you excited that Janet Jackson is making a comeback? Yes. So excited. And actually, I feel like a few months ago on the show, I said that the gays should help orchestrate some kind of Janet Jackson comeback because she had been out in the weeds too long and it was time for her to come back. And I had been missing her. And now it's happening.
I agree. I love Janet Jackson. I'm excited she's coming back. We need someone who's a little bit badass in the music industry again. And she's pretty fucking badass as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Bat Dog says, Ro, you were extremely drunk. It was hilarious.
I was really drunk yesterday. That's true. I have been getting drunk a lot the last couple of weeks, I've noticed. There's a theme happening. But yeah, yesterday I got really drunk. The thing about it is they have this frozen margarita machine on the island. And they on one side they make Cosmos and on the other side they make margaritas. And here's the thing. You fill up a red Solo cup full of this stuff. It's very easy to fill one up all the way to the top. And you drink that down in, let's say, 20 minutes. You're going to be drunk. Guaranteed. I don't know how much fucking liquor they put into it, but I guarantee you're going to be drunk. You drink 2 of those, and you're on your ass. And yesterday, while at the island, I had 5. I was very, very drunk.
She was extremely drunk. All right. Joseph has a question. What's with the chirping birds? Okay. This is why I have when I did the show from home, the radio setup was upstairs in like an alcove between my bedroom and Mike's bedroom because I didn't want any outside noise interfering. And I got a lot of birds here. I don't own a bird, but I mean, you can see out the window that it's like, there's leaves and things and bushes, and you can kind of see it's a little blurry over here. There are bushes. There are birds, natural birds all around my house all the time, and they are chirping and tweeting. And so, yeah, it's loud. It happens all the time. I mean, I love it because it feels like I'm in nature, and it's quieter than a horn honk and someone screaming white Jesus outside my door like they did when I lived in the city. But yeah, it's a lot of chirping birds. But if we did the show here, you would have heard birds. Although actually our show was at night, so you probably wouldn't have heard anything. Because owls don't chirp. Okay, here's the next question. Is roommate Mike as fucking hot as I feel he is? That got voted up 23 times.
Wow, that's a lot of voting up. I think he's pretty attractive.
Yeah, my roommate Mike is very attractive. He's also married and off the market.
Quiet. Yeah, he's married. Sorry, boys. Can't have him. He's been taken. And not by Derek.
No. By Brian. He's very nice. Okay, what else have we got?
I don't know. I should be looking at these too, huh? I'm sorry. I'm not doing my job. And I'm supposed to be talking while you're looking, and I was doing a bad job at that too, wasn't I? Oh, this Google Hangout thing. I'm not very good at it.
All right, here's John's question. The new Apple Music platform has Beats One. You should try and get a show on there. Well, John, lots of people have written to us with a variety of suggestions of where we could get shows. And certainly more viable than others. And when I say we're exploring every option, we are. Romaine and I did not host a music show. We hosted a talk show. And a lot of the things that are launching on the web, like the Apple Music thing, they're music. They're not talk. So if somebody is launching some kind of talk thing, then there may be an opportunity for us there. Or if we can convince them, hey, maybe you should launch a talk thing. But or Romaine and I could try to pitch ourselves to host some kind of wacky music show, which is always a possibility. But
oh gosh, that's a scary concept. You and I doing music? Really?
Bitch, I'll do anything.
I know you will, but I'd rather do what we're really good at.
Here is a thing from John. I agree. We should concentrate on what we do best. Periscope is limited in viewing options. I can't watch it on my phone, PC, Kindle, or even the new Dell tablet I got 3 weeks ago. Please keep the YouTube videos coming. Well, thank you, John. It's part of why we started doing these, because not everyone can watch the videos that we do on Periscope, although they are fun to do.
Yeah, but also, I mean, I can speak for me with my Periscope. I try to capture every video I do on Periscope and put it up on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Romaine Patterson. So if you miss the Periscope, you can always catch it on YouTube.
Yeah. JD says, Corinth, Mississippi, where I live, has been denying marriage licenses. That's not legal now, right? Well, it's a little bit gray, JD, because the Supreme Court, when they rule, they certify their ruling 28 days later. So technically, they don't have to immediately start issuing marriage licenses because the ruling has not yet been certified. And in some states, they were waiting because the appeals court underneath the Supreme Court had put a stay on some of the rulings, and they were waiting for those courts to lift the stay before the state started issuing marriage licenses. And I know that the Fifth Circuit, which I believe covers Mississippi, I know it covers Louisiana, but I believe it covers Mississippi too. The Fifth Circuit had been asked to lift their stay, and I believe they did lift it on like Thursday or Friday. So it is entirely possible that you will see marriage licenses doled out in Mississippi starting next week or the week after. And some, part of why it takes 28 days for the certification and everything is that, like in this case, they have to print new marriage license forms and all that kind of stuff and explain to the county clerks what the ruling is and all that kind of stuff. So they do give a certain amount of leeway, a couple of weeks, for states to sort these things out, as long as they seem to legitimately be sorting them out. But yeah, if you get to the end of July and they're still not handing out marriage licenses, then there's an issue. Now, some places have started saying they're not going to give marriage licenses to anyone, gay or straight, and that may or may not be legal. But if they're refusing marriage licenses to everyone, then that's that may entirely be legal. But all that does is penalize poor people, because people of means can then just go another county away and get married. But it really just penalizes the poor, gay and straight, if a local county clerk refuses to give any marriage licenses to anyone, which sucks. All right.
Yeah, it kind of blows. I don't understand why the losing side just keeps fighting when they've already lost. Give it up. You aren't gonna win. Christ, just let it go.
Well, I mean, gay people have lost at the courts before, and we came back for a second bite of the apple. Bowers versus Hardwick in 1986, which upheld sodomy bans. We came back at that one 17 years later in Lawrence versus Texas in 2003. So we didn't let that go.
Yeah, but was that a Supreme Court ruling or no?
Yes. That criminalized homosexuality.
Okay, fair enough, I guess.
Okay, Davey has a question we can answer. Thank you, Davey.
Oh.
Adam Sank has been all over Facebook without his shirt at New York Pride and 4th of July fireworks this past week. Did you guys go to the parade or watch the fireworks? How are those two things related?
I don't know.
I thought he was asking if our tops were off. But I didn't go into the city for New York City Pride. I was in the city on Friday night. I had dinner with Mike and my friend Adam, but I didn't go to the parade or anything on Sunday, and I wasn't there on Saturday either. But I saw the gays handstands in the streets over the marriage equality ruling, and we watched fireworks out in New Jersey. What about you, Romaine?
I didn't do the Pride Parade. I generally don't like to go to the New York City Pride Parade because it's so intense. And it's just a lot of fucking people. And with Romy, it's not something that it just doesn't feel like I hate to say safe environment, because it's just not that it's not safe, but it's just that there's so many people that it's easy to lose her in the crowd and things like that. So I'm like, no. And as for fireworks, I watched fireworks yesterday out at the island, and it's my favorite fireworks display every year. I love it because Kevin and Christopher, they play this patriotic music in the background, and the fireworks are out above the lake, and it's pretty magical.
All right. Here is Ed's question. We're down to our last 15 minutes, so vote up those questions. And you can ask your own question if you're watching us live. Just click on the thing that looks like a keypad up here, and you can ask a question, or you can vote up other people's questions if you're watching us live. Both times, says Ed, that I click for an upvote, the Google thing rewinds about 2 minutes. Well, that's not good. I liked hearing about your roommate Mike a couple of times, but still, even if he's off the market, could you still post a picture of him anyhow? Ed, there have been pictures of Mike over the years. I think if you type Derek Hartley roommate into Google, you will find photos of Mike. I'd be very surprised if you didn't. John's question, Donald, what?
Nothing.
Okay.
I didn't say anything. I was just laughing.
Question, Donald Trump, updates and thoughts.
God, what a fucking idiot he is. That's my thought. What a fucking idiot he is. And my favorite part is the shock that he is shocked that all these people are coming for him when he says and does stupid shit. How this man thinks he could ever be elected president of the United States is beyond me. Like, legit beyond me. Why is he wasting our time, wasting his time, wasting money? Like, he is a dumbass.
I think that a lot of Republicans and the Republican establishment are horrified by Trump running for president because he is alienating Latino voters. He is coming off like a sideshow, and he is number 2 in the polls nationally, in Iowa, and in New Hampshire. So he will definitely be on the debate stage, and he doesn't say anything nice about the other candidates. Sometimes when people are running for president, they're careful about the way that they criticize the other candidates for a couple of reasons. One, they're all in the same party, so they don't want to damage whoever the ultimate nominee is in the general election. So they don't want to say anything so nasty and so damaging that they can't get elected. And then the second thing is that if another person succeeds, they want to be available to be their vice president. So, they like to, they're a little critical, but they try not to be too directly critical about any candidate. And that's totally reasonable. But Trump doesn't give a shit.
Nope.
He'll say whatever nasty thing he wants about any candidate, and he'll get up on that stage, and he is not going to be nice to those other people. And so it could be ultimately very damaging to the Republican brand. The other thing is, I love the meme of the Trump clothing labels that say made in Mexico. Because, I think after the things that he said about Mexicans, if I worked in a shop making Trump clothing in Mexico, I'd be extremely offended. But also, it's like, you know what, Trump, you depend on Mexico to make goods for you. And so having a good relationship with Mexico, what if he became president after what he said? How is he going to have a good relationship with Mexico after, basically saying that everyone who comes from Mexico is a rapist and carrying drugs? How is that helpful?
Yeah, I don't know, Derek. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
No, it really doesn't. It really, really doesn't.
You know what? I want to call up my Republican brother and see if he's going to vote for Donald Trump. Oh, God. Oh, I wonder if he likes him more than he likes Obama.
Oh God, I hope not. Okay, Michael says, are you still watching Big Brother? Do you think that this year's cast is a bit too concerned about being politically correct? I found some of the past hate mongers to be repulsive, but it made good TV. I'm not watching Big Brother this year. Romaine, are you?
No, I don't have time for that. I mean, even unemployed, I don't have time for that fucking show. No.
I'm not watching either. Is somebody sending us another message?
No, I'm getting a message from Kevin from the island. It's because I'm on Romy's bad mood list because I forgot her inner tube at the island last night. And
I noticed it after you guys left.
What's that?
Yeah, I saw it there on the ground after you guys left.
Yeah, needless to say, we got to the other side of the lake, of the mainland, and she's like, what about my inner tube? So now I'm on her bad mood list, so I'm trying to get it back.
Okay.
My bad.
Well, I'm not watching Big Brother either, and it doesn't surprise me if people are being very politically correct on that show because people have come out of the Big Brother house and lost their friends and jobs and everything else about the horrendous things that they said off the cuff. If I were on Big Brother, I'd be very careful about what I said because they are looking for you to say the worst thing possible. You got to be careful whenever you're on any of those shows. Joey says, Romaine just finished all of Orphan Black. You were right. So good. Derek, are you watching this show? I have all 3 seasons saved and ready to go, and I still have not watched it. And I've been meaning to. And I've been like Romaine. I have literally been too busy. I'm not able to keep up on TV.
But when he does watch it, he's going to love it because it's a great show. And that actress, oh my God, she's so
I watched the pilot years ago, and I really liked it, but I have not gotten back into it since then. All right.
I'm a member of the Clone Club. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay, let's shotgun these last few questions here because we're down under 10 minutes. Eric says, do the birds have a Twitter account since you said they are tweeting?
That was so dumb and lame. Oh, God.
Scott says, oh, my God, I love the 80s. You just sold me on the cruise. Awesome, the 80s. And Derek and Romaine, it will be amazing. Look, the cruise is really fun. People have a really good time. 75 to 80% of people who join us on the cruise come back, which is a really high return rate because, cruises are not a cheap thing. I mean, they're not an expensive vacation, but it's, the cost of a vacation is not cheap. And people have a good time. And we put a lot of thought into the activities and everything that go on the ship. And it really is, though, it's about how connected everyone gets being on the ship together. So if you're at all thinking about it, derekandromaine.com, check out our cruise. It really is fun. People have a great time.
Yeah, and I mean, Derek and I are always trying to think of new and exciting things to do on the cruise, and I put together what I think is a really solid itinerary for the November cruise, and full of really fun events that I think everyone's going to enjoy. So the 80s theme night is just one of many.
Yes. Orion says, just noticed the Derek and Romaine photo behind Derek. Love it.
They used to hang in our office.
Yeah, it used to hang in our office, and it was supposed to go to Romaine's house, and it showed up here, but all of my boxes showed up at Romaine's house. I don't know. It all got messed up. But I was supposed to bring the extra boxes for Romaine in my car yesterday, and I forgot them, so I'll have to see her again at some point in the future.
I hope so, because I would like some of the other ones.
Wouldn't that be nice? Carl says, instead of Google Hangouts, what about FaceTiming all of us? I don't think that would work.
FaceTime? Come on.
I mean, that's only available on iPhones, right? And iPads. So not everyone would be able to join us. And how would we get everybody into one FaceTime? What a mess.
And how would we be able to answer all their questions and shit? It doesn't make any sense.
It wouldn't work. I had to work today. What a treat you are for my day, says James. Oh, that's nice.
That is nice. Thanks, James. Thanks for joining us. It's nice that we can be here for you.
All right, let's go to Joe. Joe says, Derek and Ro, hi. It's not difficult to join you. Just have to wait for the event to start. Hope things are going well for you guys. Oh, well, thanks, Joe.
Things are going well as they can go.
Yeah, I agree. As well as they can go. Fernando has a question. How are the future plans going? Ro?
How are future plans going? I mean, I like to think they're going okay. Derek and I are working on some stuff. We're exploring a lot of options. So I feel like they're going okay. I think I am maybe, what's the word I'm looking for? I think I'm a little more positive about it than Derek is at times, but that's just because he's a little more realistic sometimes than I am. I get all on my high horse and I'm like, we can do it. We're fucking awesome. Yeah. And then he's like, okay, calm down. But I feel good. I feel like things are going to go okay for Derek and Romaine.
I have been surprised by cheerleader Romaine because I haven't seen her ever.
That's not true.
It is a surprising side of Romaine that I've been seeing lately. It's lovely. Romaine is motivated and gung-ho and engaged and all those things. It's wonderful. And I mean, look, I'm always concerned because I'm the kind of person that likes to know the next step. Romaine and I, with our show, we always planned a year at least in advance what our lives were. Romaine and I, in talking, like with the cruise, for instance, have already been talking about 2016, 2017, like what our long-range goals and plans are. So Romaine and I are very long-range people. So not knowing where I will be working tomorrow is a serious concern to somebody like me who likes to plan things that far in advance. But, and then I get irrational, like in the supermarket, like, oh no, I'd better buy that generic soda because I can't, I don't have a job. Like I start getting a little crazy, even though that's nutsy.
Derek, I know where you'll be working tomorrow. Nowhere.
Nowhere.
You won't have a job tomorrow.
Thank you. That was very helpful, Romaine. I'm going to sleep tight tonight.
You're welcome. Sorry, just being honest.
So, too honest. Anyway, but as I said at the beginning of the video, people have been reaching out and being helpful and all those kinds of things. And so I think that Romaine has good reason to be optimistic because people are reaching out. All right. Richie says, Ro, you're cracking me up.
Well, good, I guess. I'm glad that I can do something of some worth these days.
And Michael says hello from Jakarta. Many of you know Mike from China, who used to call into the show every once in a while. And obviously we don't have a show anymore, but he is in Jakarta. And
That's cool.
I know. His internet connection there is apparently super terrible. So I appreciate that he's able to join us. Thanks, Michael.
Wow, thanks. Thanks for joining us all the way from Jakarta.
Yes. Kitty Cat says, that $25,000 painting was a ripoff. Sell and sell quickly.
Okay, first of all, I did not buy this painting, and I think it was actually a gift from the artist to my brother, so he probably didn't pay that much for it either. But I wish you could see more of it. This painting is fucking huge. Covers up an entire wall in my dining room. So it's a very, very large painting, and actually, it's really kind of a cool painting, believe it or not. I know it just looks like a bunch of paint splashed on there, but the colors are really bright and vibrant. It's hard to see in this lighting. But I actually really do love this painting, which is why I stole it. So yeah, I like it. And yes, it is. I would never pay $25,000 for this painting, but someone would, and so now it's mine.
All right. Joseph says, miss your That's Entertainment section. Have you seen the Nina Simone doc? Anything else we should be watching? No, I haven't, but it's on Netflix now, and everyone's raving about it, and I just haven't had the time to watch it. But it is on my list of things to watch. I definitely will be watching the Nina Simone documentary. But there's a lot of stuff on Netflix. I've only watched the first episode of Sense8. I haven't gotten episode 2. I haven't started the new season of Orange is the New Black yet. I'm way behind.
Oh my God, he is so far behind. He's like crazy far behind.
Because I have a lot of summer shows that I'm watching. The 2 shows on Sci-Fi, Killjoys and Dark Matter, and The Last Ship, and All those things. And then True Detective.
Derek, how is the last ship more important than Orange is the New Black or Sense8 or Orphan Black? Please, for the love of Jesus, explain this to me. The last shit is more important? Really? Really?
I like that show.
Derek.
It's good. Rona Mitra is a scientist. It's worth watching. Even though Eric Dane at the movies, they have like a promo. Oh, actually, I think it airs on TNT, and Eric Dane did the promo for it. And he does it like he's being held hostage. It's like this. Are you ready? Tune in to The Last Ship on TNT. It airs Fridays at 8 p.m. Please watch it. It's like, are you being held hostage by ISIS? What is happening? I'm so worried about him. Anyway, the show is great. Indeed. Don't be like that. Well, look at that. We're out of time, Romaine. This has been fun.
Oh, of course we're out of time. Go watch some fucking TV shows that matter, Derek.
Yeah, well, I have some things to do in the neighborhood first, and I have to call you after this because I have things to talk to you about.
Okay, fine. But
not bad things. I have good things to talk to you about.
Oh, in that case, woo! Woo! All right!
Yeah, it'll be a video call because a bunch of us are going to do an intervention with you. You were real drunk yesterday.
I don't need an intervention. What are you talking about?
Intervention.
For what? I didn't do anything. I am innocent.
My glass is empty. Is the thing ready yet? Please get me a drink.
I was thirsty. What can I say?
Here's how many times Romaine asked her wife to go in and get her another refill. Her wife got to skip the gym today because she got all of her legwork done getting Romaine drinks.
Listen, I have worked hard for Iris for how long? It's about time she works a little hard for me. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Well, then I guess that's all either of us are saying. Thanks for joining us for the Google Hangout. Remember, the show can be watched anytime on YouTube and live Sundays at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific. Romaine, I can see you dancing, but unless you're making a sound, no one can see it.
I know. Sometimes I just do it for your entertainment. Whoop, whoop. There we go.
Whoop, 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 whoop. She is the monkey. Bye, everybody.